I've listened to Flower Boy by Tyler, the Creator for years.
And I listened to it once yesterday.
Welcome to Spin It. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spin It, the record ranking podcast for people who would rather be listening to music. I'm James, and with me, Dat Boy, it's Connor.
It's me, the con dog.
That's right, Connor the con dog.
Not corn dog, but con dog.
Close. You're 1 R and a stick away from corn dog. Well, this is another week for the year of discovery. Tyler, the Creator. This Flower Boy is an album I think I've wanted to do for a while. I've been eyeing it up and waiting for the right time, and I was like, it's the year of discovery. Like, somebody just mentioned Tyler, the Creator. I mean, with his new album coming out and stuff, someone was listening to it, and I was like, oh yeah, we've got a slot in the year of discovery. We need something different, something discoverable. And I was like, this is the week. So here we are, Tyler, the Creator, and Flower Boy. You know, I haven't listened to Chromacopia yet, but people are loving on that one.
Are they?
Yeah, if I listen to it and I like it, maybe I'll regret this, but I really did love Flower Boy when I discovered it. Are you very familiar with Tyler, the Creator?
I know he exists.
That's good.
I know his name is Tyler.
It is.
And apparently he's a creator.
He does match all three of those criteria. Tyler the Exister, Tyler the Creator. He does do a lot more than just create music, too. I mean, we'll talk about it when we get into it. But
Yeah, he's a true creator. He creates a lot of stuff.
Creates all kinds of things. But music is a large part of what he creates. And that's cool. So you hadn't heard any of his music?
Not really.
Interesting. I don't think I had either.
There might be some that I just don't realize is him, or, I've heard him around, but I've never actively listened to Tyler, the Creator.
No, that's fair.
So before you discovered him, did you really know much about him?
No, I also didn't before I put this album on, actually. And he was kind of an artist that I picked at random.
Oh, really?
I had heard of Tyler, the Creator, and I was like, yeah, I really want to expand my horizons. Why not? I'll get into it. And at the time, this album seemed like the best place to start from what I was seeing online, and so I dove right in.
Was it in the month of November?
No. Apparently it was in July of 2022.
Missed opportunity.
No, I thought that too. See, that's another... I kept pushing it off. I was like, oh, we should do Flower Boy in November. And then November would come and go, and then we didn't do it. But I'm thinking now, probably we shouldn't have done it in November, because the whole point of the song is take me back to November. So we have to be past it.
Oh, we gotta be past it.
So we can go back to it, yeah.
But it hasn't happened yet.
Well, last November did. Actually, I mean, several hundred Novembers have happened.
That kind of implies that this song takes place in December. So it's like, take me back to November. Because if not, it's take me forward to November. New year, new November.
Well, no, but you're going back to the most recent November.
No, that one was shredded in the past file cabinet.
Oh, yeah. It's like last November didn't happen. Take me back to Thanksgiving dinner.
Do you remember the 20th? Is it 21st?
21st night of September.
Night of September? No, because it was shredded.
Right. Yeah, we have done a couple songs themed after months, haven't we? Tyler, the Creator, he just has such an interesting voice and style.
He does.
That is something I think we've been adjacent to in the past.
But never quite been in.
Yeah, I think...
We've been tangent to Tyler, the Creator.
Yeah, right. With like A Tribe Called Quest a little bit with their jazzy kind of sounds and some of their lyrical patterns. But then also... couple of moments on Flower Boy really remind me of Childish Gambino and Redbone and, things like that. So it's been a while. I don't think this is new ground necessarily, but it's rare ground for us.
Fair enough.
I'm debating. I'm curious to see whether you like this album or not.
Well, then I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I know. Well, you can tell me at the end of the episode.
No, I'm not going to tell you at all. I'm going to tell the audience, and then you're going to have to plug your ears and then listen to it when the episode comes out.
Oh,
find out.
That'd be awful.
Alongside the audience.
I was just going to say, if you like the album, that's great. But if you give the album a low score, you'd be like Connor the Destroyer. But I guess time will tell.
Kiss is the destroyer.
Well, that's true. Kiss the Destroyer and Tyler the Creator.
Real yin-yang situation going on.
I guess so. Those albums are nothing alike.
There is destruction within the creation and creation within the destruction.
Oh, that's apoptosis. That's what that's all about.
Yeah. See, we've been tangent.
Yeah, we've been around. Let's talk about Tyler the Creator. Tyler Okonma, That's his real last name, not comma the creator. He was born on March 6th, 1991. So he's just past his 34th birthday as of the time this episode comes out. He was born in Hawthorne, California, and he was enamored with music at a very, very young age. When he was 7, he would make his own fake imaginary CDs by taking the covers off of CDs that were in his house. And he made up track titles and song lengths and did little album covers for them. Very thorough, very creator-coded, even from a young age. By 14, double that age, by the time Tyler, the Creator, had doubled, he was able to more actively take a role in creating, and he taught himself to play the piano. Then he took his first concrete steps to making those imaginary CDs into a reality. He also ended up on the move a lot. Tyler, the Creator, went to 12 schools in 12 years, which is wild. I definitely moved schools a few times, but I can't imagine a new school every year. I mean, I guess at some point you get used to it, but yowzers.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah. As tough as it was to move around schools, 12 schools in 12 years, he did try to join drama clubs and marching bands while he was there. Tough to, again, step into that for 1 year at a time. And he actually ran into a lot of trouble for being, like, loud and hyperactive. Not to mention that in band and drama clubs, like, he couldn't read music. He taught himself everything. So he was really, like, behind the 8 ball and, you know, had to work to get through those experiences. But that did not hinder his creativity. In his teenage years, Tyler spent time working at Starbucks, much like a certain mixer of tapes that we all know and love, or at least all know, or at least some of us know. And he also started uploading YouTube videos and posting on MySpace under the name Tyler, the Creator. It's pretty cool. But all that actually started to change when he was 16. He decided to seriously get into music, and he turned his screen name, Tyler, the Creator, from a username into a stage name because he wanted to shirk the norms of the music industry and really, like, blaze his own trails. He was Tyler, the Creator, because he wanted to create his own path into the world of music. Plus, again, like we talked about, he literally does create, like, very much makes things. And one of the first things he made is an alternative hip-hop collective called Odd Future with his friends Left Brain, Haji, and Casey Veggies. Their debut mixtape came out in late 2008, and by Christmas 2009, Tyler would release his own first studio album, Bastard. It made it all the way to Pitchfork's number 32 album of 2010, and it made a lot of waves in the alt-hip-hop community. Tyler, the Creator, even won an MTV Video Music Award for Best New Artist. His song Yonkers and some of his music videos.
Great title, by the way.
What, Yonkers?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked extensively about Yonkers on our Ella Fitzgerald episode.
Uh-huh.
When he did that song, no relation to Ella Fitzgerald. And he also did music videos that really, like, his aesthetic led people to call him horrorcore. But he never really loved that label, and he actively pushed back against it pretty adamantly. He also doesn't like to be called, like, a rapper or a hip-hop artist. Like, he doesn't like to be lumped in with that genre, which is interesting. I kind of like it. Because, you know, we just talked about this on the Cowboy Carter episode. The restrictions that genre kind of puts on you as an artist, or, you know, the classification system. There's not a perfect box for everything. And I don't think hip-hop or rap is a fully appropriate box for Tyler, the Creator. It's close, but it's not really. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot more nuance than you can represent with basic genres. But anyway, by the time his sophomore album, Goblin, came out, Tyler was getting noticed by the likes of Jay-Z and Rick Ross, and he signed a deal with Sony Music. Tyler also started to take an interest in directing music videos and doing more visual media, and in 2011, he confirmed that he would be doing an Odd Future sketch comedy show called The Loiter Squad that would run on Adult Swim for 4 years. That's cool. Did you ever hear of The Loiter Squad?
No.
I see. Well, I was like 2011. That's like your Adult Swim era, right? I feel like you were kind of in the neighborhood of that TV then. So I wasn't sure.
Fascinating.
Uh-huh. But as the TV show went on, so did his music. He put out another album, Wolf, in 2013. Also, like, to this point, all this stuff is starting to be named after creatures. Like, no wonder they called him horrorcore. Goblin and Wolf, and, like, it makes sense. But by this point, he was producing the entire project himself. Top to bottom, Tyler, the Creator, created it all on his own. He did the same kind of recording and producing in his own home studio for his 2015 record Cherry Bomb, except, of course, for the orchestral parts that he composed and then recorded with an entire full orchestra in Hans Zimmer's studio, which is so cool. You like Hans Zimmer, right?
I sure do.
Well, there you go.
Big fan.
Big fan of the Zim man.
I'm a Zim head.
Big Zim head. Wonderful. Cherry Bomb was a big record for Tyler. It's got features from Kanye, take notes, and Lil Wayne, which is cool. During this time, Tyler, the Creator, also made the the theme song for the show Bill Nye Saves the World, which is a kind of a spiritual successor to Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah, that was a wild one to find out.
I know, right? I haven't heard the theme song to Bill Nye Saves the World, but it's hard to top the classic Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill.
Inertia is a property of matter. I wonder how many Bill Nye episodes we watched in middle school. Oh, it was a lot.
I probably have seen almost all of them.
Really? I do wonder about that. That was a great age for television. Science television, Bill Nye, Mythbusters. Like, there was a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of good science programming going on. What happened to that?
It went away.
Ran out of myths to bust and out of science to explain to kids.
Apparently, he had the world to save, that Bill Nye.
Yeah.
But then, in mid-2017, Tyler, the Creator, got ready to put out his 5th studio album, the subject of today's episode, Flower Boy. And if you dig around, you may find it with a longer title that we're not going to say on the podcast. But rest assured, it has alternate names. It is a really interesting album. It's this neo-soul, jazz rap fusion kind of record. Like, when I first heard it, I was certainly quite intrigued. Somebody recommended this album to me. Somebody said this would be a good one, and I was like, sure, that sounds great. And it kind of took me by surprise. I hadn't heard a lot like this to that point. He once again largely wrote and entirely produced Flower Boy all by himself end to end. And he did recording and mixing at 3 different Los Angeles studios. Work on Flower Boy started as far back as 2015, and it took him just about 2 full years to complete. His goal in songwriting and lyrics was to be more vulnerable and personal after Cherry Bomb kind of underperformed. Kind of cherry bombed, if you will. And he said for Cherry Bomb, I purposely was like, I don't want to get personal at all. I'm just going to make songs. And this one, I was like, all right, let me write down every feeling. So it's a lot more of an in-depth look into Tyler, the Creator, which is cool. He was also really intentional about keeping verses and rap sections very short to let the songs and the hooks and the production shine through more effectively, which is cool. Tyler, the Creator, does this really unique thing. I can't, again, speak to many of his other albums, but at least on Flower Boy, he does a lot of syllable work, like repeating syllables and words and phrases. And it's cool because it kind of just gives the production like a moment to hiccup and almost like a record skip sound to it. I really like it. He also leans a lot on symbolism on this record, right? It's almost like a concept record of motifs, especially obviously on Flowers, and like driving comes up a few times. I don't know, there's just a few threads that you can follow to get all the way to the bottom of this album. And I really like that. And the album is also interesting because a lot of it is made up of secondhand songs of sorts. A lot of these are songs Tyler intended for other people or wrote and thought it'd be good for someone else. And then people passed on it, didn't want it, didn't show up. And so he took them and made them himself, which is a really interesting dynamic. The track for I Ain't Got Time almost went to Kanye and Nicki Minaj. See You Again was for former One Directioner Zayn Malik. Who Dat Boy was for Schoolboy Q. Glitter was for Justin Bieber. Like, that's a not insignificant chunk of this album that was originally supposed to be shopped around.
Yeah.
But they all turned him down. Tyler made him for himself.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, Carole King did something like that too, right? And
yeah,
a few others we've talked about that were songwriters first. Christofferson was kind of the same way.
Yep.
It's really neat. Tyler announced Flower Boy on July 6th, 2017, and it officially came out later that month. However, despite that quick turnaround time, he still couldn't stop it from leaking a week and a half early. So that's not cool. It ended up debuting, though, at number 2 on the Billboard 200, with more than 100,000 units in first week sales. Critics thought Flower Boy was pretty strong. Its Metacritic score is a solid 84 out of 100. Ironically, that score is a B, which, look at the album cover, and that should clue you in on the irony. Yeah. AllMusic gave it 5 stars. The Guardian, The Independent, and NME gave it 4 stars. XXL gave it a 4 out of 5. Pretty strong, pretty robust ratings. NME's Jamie Milton said, backed by a supporting cast of R&B superstars and bright newcomers, it's a record of long, lazy summers, sitting back and staring at the clouds, which I think is great. It is a very summery kind of record in a lot of spots, despite, again, having a song called November on it. But I just wanted to get it out here in the early springtime, you know? Wanted to have that episode out about it. Clash said that Flower Boy was a marriage of abrasive and tranquil. And I think that's a really good description too. There are parts of it that are really abrasive and kind of like just tweak your ear a funny way. And then parts of it are really relaxing and really deep and cushy. And I really love the dichotomy that we'll get into.
Spoilers!
That's right. That's just a hint. That's just a nugget of tease for the future.
Well, man, we haven't had a good nugget of tease in a while.
No. Sometimes I just got to drop one in there, you know? A little one-piece tease McNugget.
I gotta have that 10-piece. One just doesn't satisfy.
Okay. Maybe I can drop you more Tease McNuggets as we go.
I mean, I once ate a 50-pack, so I can handle a lot of nugs.
That's true. Here's a nugget of tease. There's a 6-minute version of one of these songs on this album. That's the tease. You just have to wait and see. Another tease. A different one of these songs went to number 87 on the Hot 100.
It's a lot of teas.
Another tease.
I think I'm full.
Really? Well,
Eyes were bigger than my stomach.
well, that's fair. Last tease. One of these songs he wrote in a studio with Kanye while Kanye was asleep.
So he just wrote a song.
Yes. Yeah, but Kanye was in the middle of recording his own Kanye song. And Tyler, the Creator, went, he's asleep. Let me add it. That's another tease. We'll get there. No spoilers. Anyway, the rest of Flower Boy, it charted well. Billboard ranked it the number 27th best album of 2017, and it earned a Grammy nomination for Best Rap Album, which he lost to Kendrick Lamar's Damn from episode 72. We talked about it extensively. So that's a worthy opponent. We'll see if you agree whether it should have won or not, I guess, when we get to the end. But today, Flower Boy has been certified double platinum in the US for 2 million units in sales. After Flower Boy, Tyler's third TV show called The Jellies came out. It would run for 2 seasons before being canceled in 2021. Then, he put out his next couple records, Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost, which continued to perform pretty well. Tyler, the Creator's first ever Grammy win came on his third nomination when Igor won Best Rap Album. Even though, again, he said it was a, quote, backhanded compliment to classify him as rap. What he said is, it sucks that whenever we, and I mean guys that look like me, do anything that's genre bending, or that's anything, they always put it in a rap or urban category. He said, I don't like that urban word, it's just a politically correct way to say the N-word to me. So he feels very strongly about genre, and rap, and how you classify his music. But Igor, hey, best rap album. And then, Call Me If You Get Lost became his second #1 album. It would also win a Grammy for Best Rap Album. So that's remarkable. His latest album is called Chromacopia. It came out in October of 2024. I haven't listened to it yet, like I said, but I've heard so much about it. So many good things. Could he go for 3 straight Best Rap Album Grammys? I mean, it's almost certain to be nominated, but also Kendrick is almost certain to be nominated as well for GNX, and we'll see. Maybe he'll be a runner-up to Kendrick again. Maybe he'll win for a three-peat. Who knows? But speaking of Grammys, which we'll only have to wait and find out in like another whole year from now, Tyler, the Creator, has got a lot of awards. He's been nominated for 37 major awards, and he's won 17 of them. Those include 3 BET Hip Hop Awards, a Brit Award, 2, like I said, Best Rap Album Grammys, 3 other nominations, an MTV Video Music Award, 4 UK Music Video Awards, and much more. He's also earned a Wall Street Journal Innovator Award and been nominated for 9 XXL Awards. So that's fun. Also, trivia tidbits. In addition to all his own TV shows, he does have some other acting credits to his name. He's appeared in an episode of the show Big Mouth. So I guess you...
Really?
Yeah, you did know him from that.
What?
He plays Jesus in a season 6 episode that I frankly don't remember.
Oh, I didn't know it was him.
Yep. I don't know how you would know it was him if you didn't know who he was. But he's also been on The Regular Show. He's been in Black Dynamite. And he's even in Grand Theft Auto 5 as a random NPC voice. So that's cool. But anyway, that's what I've got. That's my info about Tyler, the Creator. Now it's time to learn a bit more about Mixtaper the Dastard and play some Factor Spin, where we learn 4 additional wacky and ridiculous true or false things about Tyler, the Creator.
Let's get him out here.
Yes, let's. Let's see what he knows.
Hey, it's me. Tape the Mixer.
Tape the Mixer. I don't like that. You've been giving yourself a lot of random names lately.
What about Mix the Taper?
Mix the Tapers, maybe a little bit better. Because like Tyler, the Creator, Mix the Taper. Like some of the vowel sounds line up a little more naturally. But anyway, I think that's all semantics anyway.
I just, I identify with Tyler, the Creator a little bit because, I too am a creator.
Yeah.
Pumpkin Spice Latte, Factor Spin. I'm just creating all sorts of stuff.
That's true. You do create plenty. Have you created many spins this week?
I mean, that's for you to determine.
Yeah, I know. I keep hoping you'll maybe spill a bean or two.
Yeah, no nuggets of teas from me.
Regrettable.
Well, let's get into our first supposedly true fact. He has his own flavor of ice cream.
Uh-oh. This is a fact we've heard before, but it's been a long time.
Really long time. Do you remember when?
Yeah, Montero. Lil Nas X had his own flavor of ice cream, and it was like a vanilla blue swirl with chocolate and cookie crunch or something, but really it was just some character mascot from The Masked Singer.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why I remember that. It's been 150 weeks.
Because you were annoyed that it got you, I believe.
I bet I was. So what's Tyler, the Creator's flavor of ice cream? And did he create it?
Well, he is a creator. Yes, he created a new ice cream flavor in collaboration with Jenny's Ice Cream.
Jenny's Ice Cream. They make some interesting flavors already.
They sure do.
What is his brand new ice cream flavor?
He named it Snowflake.
Snowflake. Interesting. Sounds like vanilla-y, maybe?
You would think, but no.
What's it taste like?
It is a two-colored blend of cool peppermint, warm spearmint, and white chocolate with white chocolate flakes and sea salt mixed throughout.
Oh, that does sound pretty good. It's too cold, mint chocolate chip ice cream. But anyway, it does sound like an interesting ice cream flavor. Who kicked this off? Who approached whom? Did he come up to Jenny's and say, I really like ice cream and I'm Tyler, the Creator? Or did Jenny say, we have an opening for a new ice cream?
Well, he has a bit of a sweet tooth, so I think it was just a match made in heaven. I don't know who approached who first.
Okay.
Per se, you'd have to ask the lawyers. Yeah, he just really into ice cream.
Yeah, and did they like attach his name to it anywhere? Like, is it just called Snowflake? Did they roll it out as like Tyler, the Creator's Snowflake?
Well, it was rolled out under his Golf Fleur. It's an extension of his Golf Le Fleur brand. So it was like Golf Le Fleur X Jenny's.
Interesting. And Jenny's marketed it like that? When was this?
Yeah, it says Jenny's Golf Le Fleur Snowflake Ice Cream. This was, I believe, in 2019.
Okay. Okay. This is tough.
It's tough?
Yeah, I want to believe something's holding me back.
Do you know what it is that's holding you back?
Yeah, I think it's Jenny's.
Oh.
I think the Jenny's makes enough of their own funky ice creams. Like I don't think I see them partner with other people much. Just in any other capacity, really. I don't know if I've ever seen like a Jenny's collaborative flavor, like a limited time thing or a gimmicky thing. Lots of restaurants do that, but they're very clear about when they do it and they advertise it. And not that my finger is on the pulse of what Jenny's ice cream is up to, but it is curious that I've never seen them do anything else like this in the, 6 years since, or in the, 10 years that I've been going to Jenny's or more.
I can promise you that it's not like one of those situations where it's like, oh, it was actually this other brand that did it. It's Ben & Jerry's or whatever, right? I'm not just changing the brand on you.
Oh, it'd be way more likely.
Not being that big of a dastard.
If you said Ben & Jerry's, I'd almost have to believe it. But I don't think it's Jenny's. I think this is a spin.
Well, no ice cream for you then, because this is a true fact.
Oh, drat.
Here is a nice little picture. Jenny's Golf Le Fleur Snowflake Ice Cream, a cool and warm ivory green mint with white chocolate.
Huh, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. He said in a quote about it that I didn't give you because I thought it might sway you towards true.
It probably would have.
He said, as much as I love white chocolate chip cookies, I can't get over the fact that someone made the universal rule that they always have to come with those useless macadamia nuts. For as long as I can remember, mint ice cream seemed to always come with every chocolate chip but white. I finally got the two away from their clingy friends and set up a play date for my mouth.
You know what? I might not have believed it. That might not have swayed me much at all.
Really?
Yeah. I hadn't even considered like the white chocolate chip and the mint ice cream like having other partners.
Yeah. And then the sea salt just randomly showing up as well, like crashing the play date.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Jenny's likes to throw sea salt in a lot of things.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Apparently, the ice cream was very popular. It sold over 4,000 pints in its first day.
And you don't think Drake could sell $300,000 of champagne? Whatever. Anyway.
And over 20,000 scoops during its first week.
Wow, that's a lot of scoops.
Yeah, I almost made you guess that scoop amount, but I didn't.
I probably would not have gotten to 20,000. Wonder if I can get this. I mean, it's old, and Jenny's is very limited time stuff, but wonder if there's something like it.
We can go find out. Are you ready for your next fact?
I was born ready.
He has his own ice cream flavor.
Oh, Now, how is that any different than he has his own flavor of ice cream?
It's very different.
I think I'd like to call this one a fact, but call it a fact about the last one.
No. You got a whole new set of details to consider.
So he has a second ice cream flavor?
That's what I'm telling you.
That's ridiculous.
He's got a second ice cream flavor.
Well, what's this one?
In partner with Jenny's Ice Cream.
No!
This one is called Pluto Blue, but spelled like Bleu, like French.
Oh, like blue cheese?
Yeah, a Bleu.
Okay. What's this one taste like?
You wouldn't like this one.
No?
It's described as electric orange with a bolt of blue. Includes blueberries and blood oranges.
Oh, that does sound gross.
It's a mix between a blueberry slushy and an orange push pop.
Interesting.
Yeah, you don't like orange flavors, so yeah, this would not be for you.
No. Yeah. Now, I want to believe this, but something's holding me back.
Yeah, what told you back?
Well, I think it's just Jenny's. Like, only
Oh,
one time in my life have I ever heard of Jenny's doing a collaboration with someone. It's not a thing they do often. Well, so did they do this after the snowflake? And they said, hey, that was really successful. We sold 20,000 scoops. Like, let's do it again sometime. And Tyler, the creator, went, okay. And they did it again? Or was this like for a different reason? Some different thing?
Yeah, I think it was just they had so much fun working on the first one. And then they had the idea for this one when he got to meet Jenny's founder, Jenny Britton Bauer in Los Angeles. And the musician told her that he enjoys eating blueberries and her rainbow buttermilk frozen yogurt.
Oh.
So they decided to team up for more of a frozen yogurt style ice cream.
Oh, this is hard.
So this one actually includes the brand special buttermilk yogurt in it as well.
That's cool. I don't know. This is a hard position to be in because this would be a very funny thing to just make up. That'd be really good on your part. It also makes sense that if the first one was so successful, they'd want to do it again. I think it's too funny. I think you couldn't resist the pull of making up an identical fact. And I think this one's the spin.
Man, still no ice cream for you because this is another true fact.
Really? Ah, darn. I couldn't take the risk. You understand? I couldn't let you get that one past me.
No, absolutely. I anticipated you getting the first one right and then be like, no, the second one's a spin.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I guess I believe Tyler creates things that aren't ice cream.
Yeah. I really like the pint container for Pluto Blue.
Yeah. Don't think it wasn't lost on me that we just did the Prince episode not long ago. And he had a song called Computer Blue. And when you said Pluto Blue, I was like, that feels like an echo. Feels like an echo. So I don't know how much to trust it.
I see. Are you ready for fact number 3?
I don't like the way you're laughing at this. What flavor is it?
A flavor of ice cream he has.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm kidding. Could you imagine if I just, like, all 4 were ice cream flavor
Yeah, and if
facts?
they were all facts, I'd lose it. Like, the only fact that you have is that he made 4 different ice creams.
You don't know how badly I checked and double checked, like looking for any hints of him being like, oh, I'd like to do this flavor or something like that. I couldn't find anything else that would have been able to make true facts out of ice cream.
Thank goodness.
But I tried. Instead, we're here for facts about a watch he created.
A watch he created. What flavor of watch?
Artist flavored. Artesian, you could say.
Artesian. I bet John Mayer would love to collect this. What's the watch like?
It's a limited edition watch resembling a painter's palette.
Oh, that's cool. So like each color is a different time. Each little well.
Yeah, it features colorful paint splotches as hour markers.
What brand is attached to this watch?
Golf Le Fleur. It's his go-to creator brand, apparently.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know if they partnered with like Rolex or something like they did with Jenny's. Golf Le Fleur, you can get your Jenny's, you can get your wristwatches, get your fashion accessories.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
The whole Golf Le Fleur brand was created for the shoes he made with Converse. He has his own like brand of Converse. That's what I believe he started the Golf Le Fleur brand to make his own Converse.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And then he since has used it for other luxury brands and ice creams and now watches. But this watch isn't a luxury brand. He actually specifically designed this watch to be an affordable quartz model so that it would be accessible to his fans.
Now, how affordable is affordable? Because watches I can never guess the price of a watch. It's always way not what I think it is or should be.
Well, in that case, we need to play everybody's new favorite game show. Guess that watch amount.
I mean, it still gets that dollar amount. It's just that the dollar amount applies to watches.
Yeah, it's guess that dollar amount. You're right.
You could give me the dollar amount and I have to guess how many watches fit into it.
We can.
Guess that watch amount.
Ooh. Okay, hang on. Let me do a quick math. Make sure I don't give you a bad number. $125,000.
$125,000.
Guess that watch amount. And I'll go ahead and tell you, this is how many watches were produced.
Oh, I think that's an affordable watch. By watch standards, I think that's probably a run of 200.
A 200 watch. Hang on, let me do some. So you're saying each watch was
About $625. That's like expensive. Don't get me wrong.
$625.
But for watches, some of them get crazy.
Yeah, 620. Higher, sorry.
So more watches.
More watches.
Okay. Well, then let's cut it in half. 400 watches.
So you think each watch was $312.50?
Sure, roughly.
More watches.
Oh, the initial number I typed was 600, and then I went back on it.
Such an next guess? 600?
Sure, that's about 200, $830 per watch.
Less watches.
Okay. How exact do I have to be? Can I just say 500?
You can say 500 if you'd like.
I'd like to.
So that makes it $250
Yeah.
a watch?
Yeah.
That is the correct number of watches. 500 watches were produced and sold at a rate of $250 per watch, which is affordable.
Interesting. Why paint?
It showcases artistic flair and love of vibrant colors.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I think I'll say this one's a fact. Maybe I shouldn't.
Well, unfortunately, no watch for you because it never existed. This is a spin.
That's not good.
Which puts you in shutout territory.
Yeah, I've gone 0-3 for the first 3 facts the last 2 weeks in a row. That's not great.
Yeah. I had a whole thing about how he wore one of them to a GQ Men of the Year party, and that's how he announced them. In case you asked how that went, I had details. I was ready.
Wow, that is pretty prepared.
The Boy Scouts motto.
Yeah, that's true.
I wasn't allowed to be a Boy Scout.
No, I can imagine.
They said I had to wear their outfits, and I said I only wear this outfit.
You didn't want to put on the uniform.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
But we have our final fact, and boy, is it a doozy.
Yeah?
He not only was in, but created a banned Mountain Dew commercial.
Oh, he created it.
These are all created facts, things he created.
That's pretty good.
2 ice cream flavors, a watch, and now a banned Mountain Dew commercial.
Lovely. Well, banned commercials are iffy territory because they're not real. Like, Mountain Dew didn't commission this or okay this or greenlight it or whatever. He just...
No, it was absolutely Mountain Dew commissioned and okayed and even released, but then pulled and banned.
Really?
That's what I'm telling you.
Did they not know what they were asking for? What's the commercial? What's banned about it?
Well, it got huge backlash for racial stereotyping and violence against women.
Oh, yeah, those are bannable. What is it? What happens in the commercial?
Well, it's a series of 3 commercials, actually, only the last of which got banned. I guess actually all 3 were pulled and banned eventually, but it was the 3rd one that really sparked the fire.
The straw that broke
The goat's
camel's
back. No, the goat's back.
The goat's back. Is there a goat in it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Felicia the goat.
Felicia the goat. Okay. What'd she do?
Well, she's voiced by Tyler, the Creator.
Oh, he's just a voice in the commercial, and he voices the goat.
For the first 2.
What's the goat do? What's the point here? Violence against women and stereotypes and...
Well, the ads consisted of 3 commercials starring Felicia the goat, an English-speaking goat, voiced by American rapper Tyler, the Creator. In the first commercial, Felicia assaults a waitress at a restaurant while being told that the restaurant is out of Mountain Dew. In the second commercial, Felicia flees from a police officer who suspects the goat of a DUI.
Nice. That's funny.
And in the third commercial, Felicia is part of a police lineup with 5 African-American men. The waitress from the first commercial, who's shown bruised, is trying to select from the lineup while Felicia makes threatening comments to the waitress.
Oh, gosh.
And the commercial ends with the waitress shrieking and fleeing from the police station. That third one was directed by Tyler under the pseudonym Wolf Haley.
Uh-huh. That's his, director pseudonym. Well, this is hard. When did these commercials come out?
2013.
Who's the banning entity? Does Mountain Dew play them once and think it's going to be hilarious and get met with backlash and then go, whoa, you all are so right? Or is this a broadcast corporation, some legal problem? Why? Who bans these commercials?
Well, PepsiCo, owner of Mountain Dew, released a statement on MTV News saying that they were pulling the commercials and apologizing for the videos and taking full responsibility for them being created. Said that they removed it from all Mountain Dew channels, and Tyler is removing it from his channel as well, and said, "We understand how this video could be perceived by someone as offensive, and we apologize for those who were offended," and agreed to never play it again.
Okay.
Effectively banning it.
Right.
Tyler's manager has since released a statement also apologizing to anybody who felt offended, but insisting that it was not meant to be taken as racist or offensive, but boundary pushing.
He does do that a lot. Tyler, the Creator, does have a certain knack for saying things that rub people the wrong way for the shock factor or that sort of mentality. Yeah, I think this one's going to be a fact.
Going with fact.
Yeah, I think the real thing here is this one would be a really tricky one to make up. Like, you'd really have to, it'd be easier for you to go, I'm not going to make up a lie about this sexist Mountain Dew commercial, whatever.
Not to, make you second guess yourself, but don't you often accuse me of just finding out about something wild and then inserting the artist into it because I want to talk about it?
Yeah, you do that. That's true.
Also, I'd like to tell you that apparently, there's rumors, it's never been confirmed, but there's rumors that there's an unreleased fourth commercial.
Oh, I can only imagine. But not going to change my mind. I'm standing by fact.
Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to make sure you had all the information.
Thank you for helping me be an informed voter.
Unfortunately for you, you can't watch those commercials because they have been banned, and this is a true fact.
Thank goodness. Okay. Scaring me there.
I thought I'd get you with that, unfortunately.
Darn. Well, now I want ice cream.
I was worried you maybe knew about this because I never know if you sometimes you follow a lot of artists on social media that you like.
That's true.
You said you liked this album. If you go and follow Tyler the Creator on Instagram, his handle is Felicia the Goat, referencing these commercials.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, referencing the commercials or not, I mean, you could have just seen that and then said, oh, here's a Mountain Dew commercial with a goat. It wouldn't have been that hard to do the thing that you said and find something and just put the artist into it.
Wild commercials.
Yeah, it sounds like that's pretty much a lot.
Yeah, I don't know who in the PepsiCo chain of command approved those after they were created for release, but I'm sure he lost his job.
Quite possibly. Have you seen them? Can we go find them?
They might be findable on YouTube. I really didn't look. Not really something I'm interested in seeing, to be 100% honest with you.
Well, no. But you see, I just think a lot of band commercials you see, oh, this band Skittles commercial, whatever. They didn't. That's so fake. Somebody just made that and then put it online and
yeah. There's a whole Wikipedia page for these commercials. You can read all about them.
Oh, I bet.
I stumbled across that Wikipedia page. It's a little picture from the lineup.
Yeah.
You mentioned Odd Future.
I did.
One of the men in that lineup is Left Brain, a member of Odd Future.
Oh.
Don't ask me which one.
Right.
Couldn't tell you.
He's the one that he is.
Yeah. But that's what I got for you. Three things that Tyler, the Creator, created, and one thing that he did not. But if he does create it, I'll give you the point.
Oh, perfect. I don't know if he'll create that specific watch, but that's a good deal. Maybe I can talk him into it when we hang out for coffee sometime.
I hope you enjoyed those 4 facts and spins created by Mixtaper.
Well, 1 spin created, 3 facts curated.
And created. I had to type them all up and, figure out how I was going to present them.
I mean, I guess,
the presentation and flair of it all.
Yeah, that's true.
The pageantry.
That's true. You bring a lot of flair to the table.
Until our next pageant. Yeah.
Ah, goodbye, Mixtaper. And welcome back to Connor, the Connor. I think I called you Connor the something else earlier in the episode, but I don't even remember what it was. The corn dog, we said.
Yeah, the corn dog. Connor the corn dog.
I want corn dogs and ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this album art.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it is Tyler the Creator standing in a field of sunflowers overlooking an immense valley and a winding road with a cool car on the road. And there's clouds and rainbows and a lot of bees.
Bees. What kind of bee?
Bumble, I presume?
They look bumbly.
Yeah.
They're the good bees.
Bumblebees are pretty cool, pretty chill.
Not like those wood bees that just always try to burrow into your fence and your...
Oh, like carpenter bees.
Yeah. Or like the ones that like try to nest like up under like your shutters or whatever on your house. And
Yeah, just build a hive like normal. Go get on Beyonce's roof with your 80,000 friends.
yeah, or like ones that build a little hive under the lip of a milk cans that your mother has on the porch for decoration. And then 8-year-old you is carrying a very heavy 1-gallon jug of milk because you're 8 years old and everything's heavy when you're 8 years old. And you make it all the way up to the front door, but you can't open the door yourself because you got both hands on the milk jug. So you set the milk jug on the milk can, disturbing the bees in the beehive, making them all come out and attack you and chase you around the yard, stinging you while you run and scream and panic for the first time in your young life. It's like that.
Like that.
But bumblebees would never do that.
No.
Love bumblebees.
Yeah, not bumblebees. How do you feel about bees? Do you have any personal experience with
love
bees? You love them? That's great. I think they're cute. How fun.
Sweat bees also annoy the crap out of me while we're on the topic of bees.
Oh, sweat bees are the worst.
I got stung by one of those on accident.
Like, why y'all up in my business?
Yeah, they love your drink. Like, leave my drink alone. You're called a sweat bee, not a Mountain Dew bee. Like, calm down.
Like, not a Mountain Dew bee. Yeah. Maybe they'll be in the next band commercial.
Yeah. But it's like almost a year ago now. It was actually just water. I think I was just drinking water. I could be wrong about that, but I think it was just water. And we were outside. There's this stupid sweat bee who wanted to keep landing on my little glass. And I was telling a story to a friend, and I didn't look at my glass before I reached up and grabbed it and stung me right on the palm. And boy, that was an annoying sting to have to deal with for the week I had it.
I can only imagine.
It was on my dominant hand, and just every time you grabbed or touched anything, you rubbed up against it. Ugh, sweat bees. Arguably, maybe even worse than carpenter bees, because I deal with them more often.
So you love bees.
Love bees. Love them.
That's great.
They make delicious honey.
They do.
I'm a bit of a Pooh Bear myself. Love me some honey.
Good to know. Honey is great. The album initially had 2 alternate covers.
Really?
Like the main cover that we see now with the bees and the sunflowers, that was designed by Eric White. Tyler did the alternate cover himself. Now, the real cover here, Billboard ranked as one of the top album covers of 2017. The alternate is just not good. It's just a bee. Like,
what's wrong with just a bee? I love bees.
No, it's just like a JPEG of a bee on a monocolored background, and it just says Flower Boy, and again, the full title. But it's like striking how not this it is.
For an album called Flower Boy, I mean, we got the sunflowers down there, but that really doesn't seem to be what draws your attention in this album art. It's the bees, and then oddly enough, whatever car is on the road down there or something.
Does that draw your attention a lot? I've hardly noticed it.
It does. For some reason, as I'm like, look, the first thing it does is the bee covering his face. Yeah. And then the next one's the big bee that's like on the left. It's like I go from the one on his face to the one on the left, and then while looking at that one, all of a sudden I'm pulled by the little white speck down on the road. I'm like, what's down there?
Interesting.
And then the next thing I notice is, he's wearing green pants while in front of a green hills. That was kind of a poor choice. And then I go to the rainbow on the right.
Man, do you ever get to the sunflowers?
Not really. I kind of skip right past them.
Interesting. Well, without further ado, no dilly-dallying. Let's jump into this album.
Unless it's a dilly-dally bar, because we know he loves ice cream.
We do know that he does love ice cream.
Isn't a dally bar? Isn't there a type of ice cream like that?
Called a dilly bar? Yeah. It's just a normal vanilla ice cream dipped in chocolate. It's like what you think of when you think of almost like just like an ice cream bar.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's
Foreword into the track.
Right. Foreword is the first song. I didn't have a good way to get out of the dilly bar conversation. Foreword featuring Rex Orange County. He's a British rapper.
Does he live in Orange County?
Honestly, I don't know if Britain even has counties. So probably not. Let me look. Oh, it is divided into counties. 48 ceremonial counties. Let's see. There's a Principality of Orange in France. But no, Rex is from some different Orange County, or just references it, I guess. What did you think of Foreword? I mean, you didn't know Tyler, the Creator. You start this beeping and booping song. How's it grab you?
I really like the R&B kind of lyrical section and instrumentals.
Yeah.
The rapping's okay.
Right.
Is this certified poetry or buffoonery? I couldn't tell.
Well, it depends on what part you're looking at, and it depends on...
I'm looking at the part that says, but y'all want to know if I swam to cool down, how much cooler can I get until I run out of fans? How many fans can I have until they turn on the AC? If that AC blow, well, then I'm TNT.
I think it's certified poetry. I think I like the way that his lyrics kind of cascade and use multiple meanings of words.
It kind of feels a bit like stream of conscious rambling, though, does it not?
No.
Because it's like he's talking about swimming to cool down. He's like, oh, the word cool. I cool down with a fan. But, oh, fans, AC. Oh, AC blows. And what else blows? TNT blows up. It just felt like you're just kind of like, and it doesn't really make sense. Why would you need to turn on the AC if you have more fans cooling you down? That you don't need the AC because you got fans.
Well, I think you're looking at it literally. But the AC would be more effective at cooling you down than fans. Like, how many fans do I have to have before somebody turns on the AC and lets me stop using these fans?
Oh,
yeah, see?
That makes sense. Okay, I'm on board now.
I think it's cool because it uses the multiple meanings of the words. It twists them on their head. Cool and cool. Like, cool, it's cold, and cool, I'm nifty.
But at some point, just using alternate definitions for a word back to back to back to back, and it just becomes kind of nonsense at some point. You just can't do that forever. And he doesn't.
No,
but
it is interesting.
There is a line, and I was just trying to figure out where that line was.
Yeah, I don't think we get there yet. And he does it throughout the whole song. How many cars can I buy till I run out of drive? How much drive can I have till I run out of road? How much road can they pave till I run out of land? Like, that makes a little more sense.
That one makes a lot more sense, right? And that's
Yeah.
why I didn't use that one as my example.
Well, he starts with that.
The fan one really made me go, what?
Well, the fan one, I think, mostly does to keep the structure of that verse. But yeah, it does lose a little bit of its focus. But, like he says a few lines after your example, nothing lasts forever. So he's figuring it out.
Like the way he says pew pew. The instruments kind of cut out and you go pew.
That's right. Little pew pew.
Just a little pew pew. Where just silence from the instrumentals.
It's pretty good.
That part got me. Got a little laugh.
I really like the way that he does things like that and plays with syllables. I mean, one thing, I mentioned it earlier, but you'll hear a lot, is him just repeating something over and over and over. He kind of like builds these songs around one line hooks, one idea hooks. It's not so bad on Foreword because, it's a forward. It kind of opens the whole album. But like constantly, we just get garden shed, garden shed, garden shed, garden shed. Okay, 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 okay. We just run into these repeated things. Take me back to November, take me back to November, take me back to November.
Yep.
I think it's an interesting way to drive that hook into your head almost by brute force.
Yeah. Quantity over quality.
Well, not over quality. Yeah, not in sacrifice.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. It depends. Yeah. I'm curious to see who ends up being your favorite feature here. Rex Orange County, it's a fine feature. He said, Foreword was my first experience of writing on the spot in the studio. I gave it a go and we spent a couple hours on it. By the end, it was the one. He said, the pressure of wanting to have my own voice on the album made me write better than I ever had. I'd never written off top in front of other people, but now I have. So there you go. I mean, everything he contributed to this song, he kind of did off the dome in the moment. He comes back later in the album. So he's got multiple chances to earn your designation as favorite feature.
To earn my favor.
Yeah. We'll see if he becomes Rex Orange Connor, I guess.
I do think Rex is a very orange name.
Yeah. I agree with that, and I don't know why.
If you were like, pick a color to go with Rex, I think orange is... I don't know if orange is what I would have said, but seeing it in front of me, like if it was multiple choice, I would have picked orange.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I don't know why. It's an interesting song. Musically, it samples a 1997 remix of the song Spoon, done by Sonic Youth. So that's cool. I like Sonic Youth. It's a fine opener to the album. It feels less like a song to me and more like, really like an intro piece, like a foreword. But I love how we transition into where this flower blooms. We kind of get this broken up, disjointed, like string section. It feels a lot softer around the edges than the boop, 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 boop. Like Where This Flower Blooms, featuring Frank Ocean, really leads us into this album. And it opens, honestly, the metaphor of flowers blooming. That's a thread throughout the whole album. I mean, it's called Flower Boy. This is a good spot that he kind of starts that. The metaphor is falling into place. And it's a very personal song to Tyler, too. It's about his rise to fame and how he's bloomed, how he's come into his own as a creator. One of the things I love about the song, and other parts of the album too, is just that hazy kind of feel it has to it. The synths kind of just do this buzzing thing on the chorus.
The synth is the best part of this song.
Absolutely.
I found myself fascinated by anything the synth was doing.
Yeah, because it kind of does that drone noise and then it dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, like it gets all over the place. And this is the same big repeated section, I rock, I roll, I bloom, I grow, just over and over again. That kind of manufactures the whole hook.
I like the way this song ends as well.
Run it, run it, run it.
Well, just the ahs into then the run it, run it, run it, run it that ping pongs back and forth, left to right.
Mm-hmm.
fun. And then you get that piano coming in, trade out the synth for the piano. It sounds like the ending of a classical piece all of a sudden.
Yeah, like in the same way that it opens with an orchestra, it ends in kind of a classical fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle, there's some great lyrics too. He's rooted from the bottom, bloomed into a tree, and now after a while he's making leaves, keeping it in my branches, family can eat. That's great. It's just good. His wordplay is phenomenal. You don't know what I keep in the trunk, in the context of him being a tree, but also just in a real world context, like, the car on the album cover. You don't know what I keep in the trunk. There's just a lot at play. So much to process and digest on one listen or several even. It's really easy to let that breeze right by you. But to talk about, the first song is 3 minutes and 14 seconds, Foreword, and then Where This Flower Blooms is another 3 minutes and 14 seconds. I mean, 2 songs into this album, we get our first kind of interlude, little 36-second instrumental.
Yeah, a little radio show bit going on here.
Yeah, it's almost like a little skit. Apparently, there's also a 6-minute version of the song too that Tyler has and loves.
What?
6 minutes sometimes. Yeah. He said, I have this instrumental called Sometimes, and it's really just piano for 36 seconds, but the chords that I use in it are really just the ones that play in my head all day, just daydreaming. And I sing a small melody over it, and the music that I really like is just really pretty chords, and then a simple melody over it. He said the version that I have that I didn't put onto the album has a verse to it, and it's really pretty. He said, that stuff just melts my flipping soul. It's not really what he said, but you get the gist. That's the message that he said with different words.
Yeah.
I think sometimes is a good transitional piece.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Let's talk about See You Again.
Okay. See You Again. Woo, man. What a
popular song.
Yeah, huge song. It's got more than 2.2 billion streams on Spotify, running away with this album, really. It's leaving every other track in the dust.
Yeah.
It's got 2.2 billion. The next closest is 911 and Mr. Lonely, which has 408 million.
Yeah.
So there's really no competition. See You Again, featuring Kaylee Uchis.
Is that how that last name's pronounced?
It might not be. Take it with a grain of salt.
I went with Uchis.
Tyler, the creator, wrote this song. This is one of those songs that he had for someone else and then took for himself when it got declined. He wrote it for Zayn Malik of One Direction, but
what a decline.
Yeah, I know. Zayn, he said, flaked on studio time twice. Twice he offered it up. Twice Zayn flaked, I guess. And Tyler kept it for himself, and he claims that See You Again is his favorite song from the album.
I bet.
Probably because it makes him the most money, but who knows?
Yeah. I like all the horns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh man. It ended up being the 4th single from Flower Boy. It went to number 13 on the Bubbling Under Hot 100 in the US, but then in 2023, it had a resurgence after it went viral on TikTok. And so that TikTok boost sent it to a new peak of number 44 on the Hot 100, 6 years after release.
Wow.
I know, that's nuts. It's certified 6 times platinum in the US today. Obviously, with 2.2 billion streams, it's one of Tyler's most successful singles. That's great. It's an interesting song, too.
Yeah.
It's like an anti-love song. It's a song about loving somebody that you can't be with, that you used to have a history with, and you just can't anymore.
Yep.
You exist behind my eyelids in my dreams. Now I don't want to wake up. 2020 vision, Cupid hit me with precision. Ooh, I can only see your face when I close my eyes. That chorus is beautiful. Can I get a kiss, and can you make it last forever? I'm about to go to war, and I don't know if I'm going to see you again.
I like See You Again, and I like the Uchis, Kaylee, whatever.
Yeah, she is a Colombian-American pop artist. She's also had a huge career on her own, in addition to doing a lot of work and a lot of touring with Tyler, the Creator. So that's cool.
Yeah. But she's not going to win my favor this album.
Really? She gets the whole chorus hook.
Uh-huh. It's good, but it's not my favorite.
Remarkable. I guess that means Rex Orange County is still in the running. And Frank Ocean.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you as we go.
Just this one? This one was so bad you had to say it in the middle?
No. It's just because I really liked the song, and I specifically wanted to mention that I liked her feature, but that I didn't want you to get the wrong idea. Plus, I wanted to give you a little nugget of tease.
Okay. You know what? That's reasonable. Just keep it on our minds.
Mm-hmm. So many different features. You might have to ask, who dat boy?
Who dat boy that's your favorite feature? That's right. I do love See You Again. It's one of my favorites on the album, and Who Dat Boy comes next. See You Again is so pleasant. The horns are great. The brass.
It's such a good back-to-back.
And then Who Dat Boy is sharp.
Uh-huh.
And atonal and stressful.
It is. It's kind of like the beginning. It's like a horror film motif at the beginning.
Yeah. A little bit like Psycho, kind of, but slowed down and just blip, blip. And it reminds me of, like, I can see listening to Who Dat Boy, like, why people wanted to classify Tyler, the Creator, as a horrorcore artist.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this sounds like.
I know this song.
You know this? How?
I recognize the when it speeds up a little bit, the dun, 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 into the lyrics of the Yo, Who Dat Boy, who him is.
Who him is.
I recognize that line.
Uh-huh.
I recognize that. I something about it, it's either been used in a funny TikTok video, or I think I have a friend that maybe really likes this song and he quotes it a bunch. I don't know. But I recognize the Yo, Who Dat Boy, who him is.
Yeah.
The rest of it didn't ring a bell, but
No. Well, you might recognize it. It's popular. It was a lead single, kind of a co-lead single anyway, with 911 and Mr. Lonely. And it debuted at number 87 on the Hot 100, so it got out there, got around a little bit. But what it makes me think of, and I genuinely have no idea whether these are related at all, but it makes me think of the meme, the frog on the unicycle.
Oh,
That everyone said, it's Dat Boy. And that's all I think about when I hear this song. I don't know why. I don't know if they're related.
well, now that's all I'm gonna think about.
I know who him is. It's the little frog on the unicycle. Who Dat Boy? Let's see. I'm going to look up Know Your Meme. 2016 or earlier, this meme came out. So I guess it's very possible that Tyler, the Creator, was similarly inspired by this little frog. He shouts out his own brand here, his golf label, and he says a lot of words that we can't repeat.
Sure does.
But what a time. What a song. It's another song that was meant for someone else. Tyler wrote Who Dat Boy specifically with rapper Schoolboy Q in mind. And guess what? Schoolboy Q passed on it. Tyler said, okay, I'll take it. Does A$AP Rocky, by the way, as a featured artist, sound familiar?
Yeah.
We have talked about him before.
I recognize A$AP Rocky. It was blanking on me which episode he featured on.
Uh-huh.
But I do remember talking about him. It was a name that I went, oh, we've talked about A$AP Rocky.
We have.
And I feel like I even mentioned really liking A$AP Rocky.
You probably did. It was a long time ago. We talked about A$AP Rocky's feature way back on episode 33 on 30 Seconds to Mars' song, One Track Mind. And you probably remember him so fondly because, I mean, he was almost the best part of that entire album. I don't think my scores for America were very kind or fond.
No, they weren't.
No.
I think mine were fonder than yours.
Yeah, which is rare, especially that early on. And A$AP Rocky's just a bright spot on that album for me. Yeah, I like it a lot. It's a different vibe for this album, but I think it's a cool one. I'm grateful that none of the songs on this album are too long. I think there's irony in song length that we'll get to. But like for the most part, these songs are 3 minutes, 3:20. You know, we're getting into Pothole featuring Jaden Smith next. That one's 4 minutes, but it doesn't feel like it's super long or burdensome. I can live with the pace of this album. And Who Dat Boy is a good song, but I really don't think I could stand much more than 3.5 minutes of it.
Yeah. I think See You Again and Who Dat Boy might be the strongest back-to-back pairing on this album.
Really?
Yeah.
I disagree, but I think it's close.
Really?
But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. First, we got to drive over the pothole.
No, you gotta swerve around it. You gotta skirt.
Oh, should we skip to garden shed?
Swerve around that.
Swerve around pothole?
Swerve around pothole. Get to that garden shed.
No, pothole.
You're gonna mess up your suspension. You can even blow a tire.
Well, we can't keep people in suspense. You could blow a tire. That wouldn't be good. How many tires do I have to blow before I run out of fans?
Then how are we supposed to keep spinning?
That's true. On the rims.
Oh, no.
Pothole's another metaphor kind of a song. It's just about all the hard stuff he's had to overcome on the roads to success. Potholes get you stuck. Potholes blow out your tires. You can't keep spinning with blown tires. That's what you just said.
It's exactly what I just said, yeah.
It's exactly what Tyler, the Creator means in Pothole. I gotta get over all these obstacles keeping me from my success. The streets are filled with clues. How did I not see the clues, the cul-de-sacs, how did I not see the potholes? I'm just running over them, and it's slowing me down. How do you feel about Jaden Smith? I have not, admittedly, listened to any Jaden Smith, really.
Yeah, me neither. Not, like, intentionally.
I didn't even watch The Karate Kid.
I did.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about that.
Oh, no. That speaks volumes. Well, how do you think about his feature here? He's an interesting contrast to Tyler, the Creator, because, I mean, his voice is, like, such a different tone. Tyler's got this really deep vocal register, and Jaden Smith is, like, noticeably higher.
I think I hit him with a little skirt.
Oh, no. You'd pass up on it? Jaden Smith is 26?
Yeah. How's that make you feel?
I don't know. It makes me feel old, I guess. It's just another one. Watch out for the pothole, watch out for the pothole, watch out for the pothole, watch out for the pothole. Fine. It's another hook. This one feels a little more forced.
Yeah.
Much like Who Dat Boy, Pothole's kind of a stressful song. Pothole, pothole, pump. Like bump, bump, bump. It's more tense, it's more on edge. And then we kind of flow back into something a little smoother with Garden Shed, featuring Estelle. We're kind of back into this flower-oriented metaphor. You know, gardens and outside and nature and...
Good start to Garden Shed.
Yeah.
Very serene start.
That's what I'm saying. It's a nice break from the pothole.
Gotta get past the pothole to make it to the garden.
Yeah, and it's another flower-focused song. Kind of another flower-oriented metaphor for, like, trying to hide your sexuality. I saw people online comparing it, like, being in the garden shed to, like, being in the closet about things. I don't know how thoroughly that tracks. It's the thing that Tyler, the Creator's been, like, not open about, but tangentially open about. And I could see that interpretation as a very valid one. At the very least, Garden Shed functions as a situation where you're just trying to hide a part of yourself from a judgmental world. Don't kill a rose before it could bloom. Fly out the cocoon. Like, you don't have to hide in the Garden Shed, is pretty much the point that he gets to. It's another song where the synth accentuations really go hard. They kind of switch between that drone and the notes.
Garden Shed was one I just kind of vibed out to.
Totally.
Didn't even take really any notes. Just kind of vibed.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's a very strong vibe song. I think Estelle, her feature is excellent here. Really soft and gentle. Probably one of the most chill features on the album. There's some cool guitar in here. It's really distorted and like loud, wall of soundy. Garden Shed has a lot of textures that don't necessarily clash, but definitely contrast with each other. I think that makes for a really dynamic kind of song. I will say, this is a little bit of certified buffoonery. This is a crucial subject matter, sensitive, like cooking batter, till the temperature that's rising, stepping on that ladder, trying to grab the rings of Saturn.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
It's around. It's just kind of picking words that rhyme and sound cool together, and while I think there's some merit to that, I don't think it's necessary in this song, in this instance. But up next is the longest song on the album, and the one that I think is kind of ironic to be the longest song on the album. It's Boredom, featuring Rex Orange County and Anna of the North.
Are you suffering any boredom on the album at this point?
Honestly, no. I think by the time I vibed out to Garden Shed, I also am just in that headspace for boredom where, yeah, it's long, but I don't think about how long it is.
Yeah.
I think Garden Shed primes you for boredom in a really effective way. But it is really a curious kind of song. It was the second single from the album. Weird, again, that the second single is like the longest song on the album, and that it's Boredom. He said, I wrote that at 5 p.m. on a Saturday, laying on my back looking so bored. It was nothing to do. No one was hitting me back. My room was warm because I liked the heater on, and it was nothing to eat but dry cereal. And I'm sitting there like, WTF am I going to do? He said, I literally wrote that verse in like 10 seconds. And, I mean, fair, that's a 10-second verse. Find some time to do something. I ate all the dry boxes. He's been in this room too long. His eyes are turning to drywall. He said, it's weird to me because it's like I'm in a tax bracket where I can kind of do whatever. But then what he ends up doing is nothing, and everything is just boredom. Everyone has that feeling. You ever get bored?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm kidding. I wasn't bored going into this song, but I do think 5 minutes and 20 seconds is too long for this song.
Well, it doesn't move much. Like the beat behind it is the same.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I do get a little boredom by the end of this one.
Well, that's reasonable. I don't think I could fault you for that. I mean, some people would, though, because this song was good enough to go platinum in the US, and it went gold in Canada and Norway.
Yeah, popular song.
Norway is an interesting pick, but Norway actually is where Anna of the North is from.
Which is probably why.
Yeah, I suspect she had something to do with that. But what's interesting, too, is the back-to-back, like, boredom. I've got nothing but time and nothing to do. I'm so bored. And then we jump right into, I ain't got time. Like, I can't be bothered with this. I don't have time for this. It's kind of an exact opposite.
It was in transition.
Yeah.
Because it ends with that little spoken bit of like, oh, the rights are trying to hop in and then it's cut off. And then you go right into this little golf radio thing again. Mm-hmm. Back on the radio.
Yeah. Kind of another way this album acts like a loose concept album. Those radio style transitions and interludes.
And then we get that synth back.
Big time. Not as creepy as it is in Who Dat Boy, but this is here.
No, but it still kind of has that encounter of the...
Oh, the Close Encounter of the Third Kinds?
Close Encounter, that's what I was going to... It kind of has that alien vibe.
Yeah.
The jumping pattern it does.
Yes.
So it's still kind of there.
And it still builds a lot of tension. Like, this song makes you tense up.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And that's why it's a very confrontational song in its lyrics, and so the tense feeling that accompanies it with the music makes a ton of sense. Now, this was the third single. It came out just 2 days before the album dropped. And the cool story behind this one is Tyler recorded and wrote this song during a session for Kanye West's Life of Pablo. I alluded to it earlier. Like, Kanye was just taking a nap. This is the spoiler part. I'm revealing what we spoiled earlier.
Yeah.
Kanye was taking a nap, and then while he was asleep, like just dozed, Tyler the Creator went into the studio and just started clapping and making weird noises, and he smacked and he added a bass hook to it and came up with I Ain't Got Time. He even offered Kanye and Nicki Minaj the chance to be on the song, which is nice of him, but of course that obviously did not happen. Nicki wasn't sure what she wanted to contribute. When he played the beat for Kanye, Kanye just didn't like it. Take notes, Kanye. It's a fine song. I think it gets on my nerves.
In what way?
I think it's just a combination of the way that it tenses you up and doesn't release. And then just the hook, I Ain't Got Time, is like, doesn't scratch the itch for me.
I see. Yeah, I mean, this one doesn't make my top 3 at all either, so.
Yeah, you ain't got time for it to be in your top 3.
I don't know if it vexed me in any way.
I don't know if I'd say I was vexed. Just irked.
Irked.
Befuddled, perhaps.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, up next, kind of a double track. And this one's like longer. It's 4 minutes and 15 seconds, but I think the fact that it's 2 tracks meshed into one really kind of negates that altogether. It's 911 and Mr. Lonely featuring Frank Ocean and Steve Lacy.
Frank Ocean back.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, a couple of repeat features on this album, which is cool. I think it lends a little bit more to the continuity of it. 911 and Mr. Lonely was a co-lead single that he dropped early on, and it went to number 1 on the Bubbling Under Hot 100, which, again, just really to me means it was number 101. But it also went to number 47 on the Hot R&B and Hip Hop Songs chart, and today it's certified platinum in the US. How do you feel about it? Call me, call me, call me. Call me, call me, call me, call me. My name's Lonely. Here's my number. You can call me.
Get a shout out to Elon Musk in this song.
That's aged.
What a shout out. I like the call me sometime, ring, ring, ring.
Yeah.
I don't know about the bang my line. I don't quite understand that. But the ring, ring, ring is a really nice accompanying vocal.
Yeah. It's almost like a ringtone built into the song.
Yeah. I also found it a bit comical. Again, he walks this fine line of I don't know if this is completely stupid or genius.
I know.
But chirp, chirp, woke up in the burbs with the birds.
I know. The double D is really something.
Where you used to come and get me with the swerve.
Like, it makes sense. It's clever. It's
like...
It's just unusual.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
It does. I like it. As much as it perplexes me.
Yep. Yeah. It's kind of interesting, too, because it calls back to these themes of loneliness that we felt on Boredom. We just stuck I Ain't Got Time in the middle of them.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And then we kind of go back the fully opposite direction. Like, I feel like thematically, Boredom pairs up with 911 and Mr. Lonely really well. And then I Ain't Got Time feels like it pairs up way better with Droppin Seeds. Because, again, that's just another song that's not about being lonely at all. In fact, it's very much the opposite.
And we're back in the garden.
We're back in the garden.
This time we're in the garden. We're not in the shed. We're actually going to the garden.
That's right. We came out of the shed and back into the garden.
With Adam in the Garden of Eden. Got an apple bottom and she's...
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, this song is mercifully 1 minute long. I really don't love it. But this is the return of Wheezy. Lil Wayne is back.
Lil Weezy.
We did a whole episode on him on episode 57, and he's been there our whole lives.
He's been there our whole lives.
What do you think? I mean, the Carter 3 came out like a solid decade almost before this. What do you think? Is he better now, or was he better on the Carter 3? How's this feature grab you?
Well, I was distracted by the instrumentation a little bit on this one.
Reasonable.
I was intrigued.
It's very weebly wobbly.
Yeah. I mean, I gave Lil Wayne a score of a 7.
You did.
I mean, I feel like the way you phrased that question made it sound like I tore him apart.
No, I just meant genuinely, like, do you think he's improved over the years? Or is he the same?
It's hard to tell on a feature.
Well, that's true.
He's featuring on somebody else's song. I don't know if I would want to give a judgment one way or the other.
Fair enough. That's why I tried to compel you to do it. I knew you didn't want to. Anyway, it's, seeds, flowers, gardens. It all goes hand in hand. Definitely really something here. Some adult lyrics.
I mean, maybe we're getting ready to plant some garlic.
Garlic.
Yeah, or maybe some cabbage or some pea shoots, some asparagus, you know, the kind of plants that you would plant in the garden in the month of November.
Goodness. Interesting amount of research you've done for that.
Maybe I just know about gardens.
Maybe you do. November is up next. I'm going to stake the claim, and it's a tough call, but I think November is maybe my favorite song on the album.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a short list of songs that I would claim to be favorites. See You Again obviously has to be in the conversation. There's others that I like, but November really is like, when I listened to this album, November was the hook that set in me, and I was like, wow, I love this. It's such a cool song. The sound of it is really great. It's a song that sounds to me like the album cover feels when you look at it. I associate them very heavily together.
You feel that the album cover looks like November?
Just in terms of like, not November the month, November the song.
Oh, okay.
Obviously there's sunflowers and stuff, but November the song takes place not in November.
You know November, known for its sunflower and bees.
No, yeah, but this November the song is a nostalgia trip back through the past. And he's kind of using the past both as a comfort against the struggles of the present and the unknowns of the future. Like, the past is done, it's sealed, it's comfortable. This was my November, this was my good thing that I'm clinging to in the face of all this unknown stuff. It's great. And it happens, you know, take me back to November, take me back, take me back. So we're clearly not in November. But I also just love the chord progression.
Unless he's in a future November.
Unless he's in a future November. Take me back to last November. He references back to a character named Clancy that we talked about. Well, we didn't talk about, but he talked about in earlier songs.
Clancy Brown?
One of those Clancys. Not probably Mr. Krabs, voiced by Clancy Brown. But who knows?
I love Clancy Brown.
He's a pretty good actor.
He's my favorite Lex Luthor actor, too.
I didn't know that he was Lex Luthor. That's Superman.
Yeah, in one of the animated shows. I forget which one.
One thing that I love about November, aside from the chord progression, which is just excellent, it's this interlude where he brings people in to talk about what their November is, like what the happy or pivotal or meaningful moment from their past is or was, what they'd return to if they could. And I don't think it really much matters what they say because it's all very personal, but I just like the concept. Take me back, take me back.
The 1996 to 2000 Superman animated series. I think that's the one.
Is that your November?
Yeah, that's Lex Luthor.
Well,
Clancy Brown.
Is that your November? What you want to go back to, the 1996 animated Superman?
Yeah, please go back to the 1996 November.
That'd be a rough one for me.
Before I had to deal with this life.
Take me back. Like, return me. Return to sender.
I got the receipt, I swear.
Yeah, no exchanges.
Not even for store credit?
No store credit. The other thing I love about November, and why I would advocate for November and Glitter as the best back-to-back on the album.
I wondered if you were going to go November Glitter. I wondered.
Absolutely I am. Because the ending is this transition piece where he does it like a phone call in the last verse. He says, I wrote a song about you. I'm going to just call you so you can hear it. If you do answer, I'll play it to state facts. And if you don't, I'll leave a voicemail with the playback. And so we hear this voicemail tone, right? At the end, leave a beep. So we know what happened, and we know how that attempt to get in touch went. We know that she doesn't pick up, and he has to leave this voicemail in the inbox. And then the song that he wrote ends up being Glitter. Really cool, like, way to make this song exist in the universe of the album. And I like that it's pretty much the same length, like November and Glitter, 3:45 and 3:44. I think that consistency is really cool.
You say so.
What, you don't like Glitter?
I just don't think it's the best back-to-back.
Even with the transition in the voicemail call thing.
Nope.
Wild. I think Glitter reminds me a lot of what we heard on Childish Gambino, Awaken My Love.
I don't know. Glitter doesn't have the same impact to me as either See You Again or Who Dat Boy.
No, it's more poppy, I think. I mean, See You Again and Who Dat Boy are both way more steeped in, I guess, what Tyler, the Creator, generally is. But I think November and Glitter kind of serve up a more palatable, mass appeal pair of songs. They're smoother, not as rough around the edges. But I think it's reason you could make an argument for both that I would entertain.
Well, then do it.
Fair enough.
I do like the ending of Glitter.
Yeah, I know. Well, I like that it's leans up on the higher register of instruments, like floaty pianos, and like there's not a lot of bass and a lot of weight on the lower end of Glitter, and it makes it like sparkle and shine, just like Glitter. But I do love the end because it ends with another play on the voicemail gimmick, a resolution to the thing that he teed up at the end of November, because the automated voice comes in and says, we didn't get your message either because you were not speaking or because of a bad connection.
Yep.
And it's pretty obvious through the course of this phone call that we understand that they have a bad connection.
Oh, yeah.
And we understand that they're not speaking. Like, what a double entendre. It's pretty good. How you feel? How you feel?
Well, here we are, 14 tracks deep.
14 tracks deep.
We've enjoyed a lot of tracks on this album.
We have.
But I think we need to enjoy Right Now today.
Yes. Enjoy Right Now today as an instrumental to close out the album.
Indeed.
And I like the sentiment of Enjoy Right Now today. After this back-to-back of November, like, man, I really enjoyed the past. The future stresses me out. The present is not my cup of tea. Glitter, like I'm going to reach out to my past and see if I can make anything happen. And it's stressful and it's bad and it's not working. And the conclusion that we come to is enjoy right now today. This is what we have. This is the lot in life. And it's kind of an uplifting message in title and an uplifting sound in instrumental. How do you feel about it? Ending with an instrumental like this?
I didn't mind it.
No? I wasn't sure that you would. It ends up being the least popular track on the album. Not surprising.
Instrumentals usually are.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better to rename this song.
Really? What would you call it?
I think as an instrumental, you don't necessarily need like the title can add a little meaning to what you're hearing, but it's not the same as like when there's lyrics, right?
No.
And so I think you could have gotten away with calling this song like Epilogue or something, since we start with Foreword. I think an instrumental feels like an epilogue, or like that section that sometimes series books will do where they like give you a sneak peek to the next book to come, whatever that section of the book's called.
Yeah, like an afterword.
Yeah. Well, we got the foreword, so I just think like an epilogue or something. That's what an instrumental closer feels like. It feels like an epilogue. It feels like Glitter was the last real big track, and now we're trying to just plan ourselves out.
Yeah, it definitely is like that. But we're playing ourselves out and enjoying right now, today.
Fun.
Well, fair enough. Well, let's enjoy right now today and play our own selves out with Final Spin. We've missed all the potholes, swerved around them, and while Tyler the Creator ain't got time, we sure do. For me, I'm giving the music on this album an 85. I like the fusion kind of style. I don't think Tyler the Creator belongs in one box, whether it's R&B or hip hop or rap, and I definitely don't see this as an urban music album. I think he's right to push back on some of those narrow classifications. I'm giving it an 85 because I think a lot of the musicality of these songs sometimes lies in the production and the instruments, and that score is what reflects most of that. There's some good melodies in here. There are some good hooks. And then there are some hooks that aren't as good, that again, he just brute forces at you. And that's fine, but 85 is where the music lands. Give an 84 for the lyrics. They do frequently veer erratically between certified poetry and certified drunken buffoonery. I think the messaging is really interesting. I think the concept is cool. I like that we follow the same flower kind of metaphor throughout a lot of the songs. But it does kind of get picked up and dropped sporadically.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a present thread through every song. It's just like a recurring motif in a handful of them. So that's all right. 84 for the lyrics. Instruments and production, I'm giving a 90, though. I really like a lot of how he produces these songs. The tension with no release is really intriguing. The brass and the synths and the samples are really exciting. The transitions from song to song are often very satisfying. I mean, we talked not too long ago on like the Lord episode, I think, about how the transitions were sometimes jarring and like stark. And I think it's refreshing to have an album that's very conscious of the way that tracks mesh and flow together. I think that's great. And I don't, like, again, the short track length helps you get not fatigued from this album. For the overall vibe, I'm giving it a 94. I think this is a really interesting album. I don't think it adheres to a lot of rules that a lot of albums I've listened to like it follow. I think it's pretty evident that Tyler the Creator creates and strikes off on his own a lot, plays by his own kind of rules, and I think this album is better off for it. It's not overly long, overly complicated, it's not overly serious, it's not overly goofy. I think it treads a lot of fine lines really well and exists in that kind of in-between space. I think it's a good album to vibe with, so I'm giving it a 94. Overall score for Flower Boy, 88.0, which ranks it at number 196 on my list. Top 200, definitely within the top quarter of albums I've listened to. It ends up below the Oh Hellos, and a little bit above, actually, Creedence Clearwater Revival's Green River. So that's me. Now it's time to figure out whether you're going to be Connor the Creator or Connor the Destroyer.
I hate it. No.
Oh, Connor the Destroyer. Didn't bury the lead on that one at all.
No. You know this isn't my genre. I mean...
No, that's obvious.
I don't think it's my favorite one you've brought me of this genre either.
Year of Discovery.
I didn't hate it. It's a weird one.
That's why we discovered it.
I think this one belongs solidly in. Yeah, I think this one's going into 5 flavors of ice cream out of 10.
Oh, I was guessing 5. I almost assumed kind of the floor of it would be a 4. I could have seen that happening too, but 5 is about right for what I thought from you.
Yeah, I think it's actually gonna go. I think I'm gonna put it right. I'm gonna put it right below Blink 182,
Oh, below Enema of the State, above
which puts it
Taylor
right
Swift.
above Taylor Swift.
and Midnights. Hey, I think that's reasonable. We talked about how Midnights wasn't the best Taylor Swift album. It's not even the best Taylor Swift album
No.
we've talked about on this podcast.
Yeah, I do have an interesting top 3 though. I think
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Does it include your great back-to-back?
it does include my great back-to-back, and it starts with my great back-to-back of "See You Again" and "Who Dat Boy."
Who him is?
Then it jumps down a couple tracks to "Garden Shed"
Oh, interesting.
and finishes with a honorable mention to "Enjoy Right Now Today," the instrumental.
Whoa, that is surprising. I thought that was mostly just okay for you.
No, I liked the instrumental ending. I said I liked how it played it out, and I just disagreed with the title. That's all.
Wild. Wow.
As for my, the big important question of this episode, who's my favorite feature?
I'm so curious to know.
I think I'm giving it to Spin It alum A$AP Rocky.
ASAP, well, I mean, he's not really a Spin It alum. He was on one song one time.
Well, Spin It feature alum A$AP Rocky.
There you go. Lil Wayne is properly the Spin It alum.
The alumnus.
Yeah, all our lives he's been there. But ASAP Rocky has honestly earned that, I think. Probably the strongest feature on this record. I think that's...
He's one I would like you to listen to an A$AP Rocky album so that you can bring it for the podcast.
Wow, that level of curious, huh?
Yeah, well, he's one that I think he's come up a couple times now,
He has.
and we've liked him every time he's come up.
We have.
Maybe he has earned an episode. I don't know. We'll see.
You know what?
Next time you're looking for something in that genre to put on your albums of the month, maybe consider it.
Which is all the time. I'll keep him in mind. ASAP. I'll listen to ASAP Rocky ASAP.
I won't. I'll listen to it one time the night before we finally do an episode about him.
That's a lap. As late as possible. You can A-lap Rocky.
Oh, that's funny. But instead of an L, what symbol would you use?
Oh, a pound sign. He's just British.
Oh,
British
that's
ASAP
good.
Rocky is A-lap Rocky.
That's good.
So, what about playlist picks then? I think it's the last remaining question mark.
I'm taking "See You Again."
Okay. No surprises there.
I'm curious. That means you're gonna take November, right? So you said it was your favorite song.
Yeah, that's probably what that means.
Oh, my heart rate's 81 BPM right now.
Good playlist picks, though. I like those two from this album. I'm excited to have them in the repertoire. But I think that's going to do it for this year of Discovery. I honestly would call you, Connor, the Destroyer a little bit. Although you were pretty much a 5 is directly in the middle. What does that make you? Not Connor the Creator, not Connor the Destroyer.
Connor of the people.
Connor the Maintainer?
I think we can do better than Maintainer.
I think so, too. Connor the Constant? No.
Connor, I like Constant. It's not bad. But it doesn't have anything to do with creating or destroying. I feel like it's, I get where you're going with Maintainer.
Yeah, well, Constant...
It's maybe Sustainer.
Connor the Sustainer. Oh, because you sustain this at a 5. That's good. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back next week with more.
With more what?
More of the thing. You can find us on social media at SpinItPodOfficial on Instagram and at SpinItPod on X. Plus, you can visit our website, www.spinitpod.com. Kids 13 and older, get your parents' permission before going online. I think I just said that backwards. 13 and under, get your parents' permission before going online.
Hey, if you're over 13, you better ask your parents if you're...
Just text them, hey, I want to check out this podcast website. Mom, Dad, I know I haven't seen you since Thanksgiving. Can I go to this website? They'd be like, what? You're an adult. You're over 18 if you're listening to this podcast, probably. Do what you want. And you'd be like, okay, thanks. Then you can visit www.spinitpod.com. Anyway.
Hey, I don't know who him is, but tell Dat Boy about the podcast.
Oh, whoever Dat Boy is, tell him.
Whoever Dat Boy is to you, tell him to listen.
Who's your November? Dat Boy is my November. That's right. We'll see you next week. And until beautiful episode 194, keep spinning. It's wild that there are so many bees on this album cover, and we still talk more about bees on the Beyonce episode than this one. Do you think Tyler, the Creator, has 80,000 bees on his house?
Probably not.
I bet he doesn't even have one.
He's got to have it. Well, depending on the time of year, probably has at least one.
Maybe. Not necessarily. Depends on how big his roof is. Tyler, the Creator, if you're listening, how big is your roof and how many bees are on it?
I still can't get past A$AP Rocky. Cracking me up.
That's good. We'll get to him someday. It is the year of discovery, after all.
You know who we might not ever get to since, they didn't win Best Feature?
Who's that?
The Uchis.
Perhaps not. Time will tell. Or time won't tell.
I ain't got time.
Neither does Tyler, the Creator.